Is it okay when we start, or should we just wait like 1 or 2 more minutes?
Well,
Okay,
actually,
no
we're
problem.
joining. Could you please mute your microphones, if you don't mind? Thank you very much. Well, actually, we are joining Instagram already, so we are very close to being ready. So just 1 second, last moment. I'm joining us for Instagram Live.
No, Instagram game joining preoccupante.
Could you please mute your microphones? All right, here we go. Okay. Hi, guys. I'm very happy to see you, whoever is here. So, Katrin, we can already start. Would you like to open the video?
Yes, sure.
No, guys, you please close the videos because it will harm our internet connection. So please close the video and also your microphones. Hi, I'm happy to see you.
Hi. Yeah, the same. Thank you very much for making it happen. I'll be happy to guide you through a presentation today. I also will show a video clip of our campus. And then afterwards, I'll be happy to answer any questions that are open, also via chat in any way you like. And yeah, so
I'm just holding the phone because I'm trying to broadcast you on Instagram as well.
That's fine, no worries. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you just in a second. If anything doesn't work, it would be great to give me feedback.
Yeah, sure.
But I think
gotta be working. All right.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna start the presentation. All right, and give you a short overview what we're talking about today. So yeah, I'll be giving you just an overview over our campus, the UMCH in Hamburg. Also, obviously, a little bit talking about the campus in Romania and the study concept we offer here in Hamburg, and the study structure, what you can expect from student life, the tuition fees, of course, and also the preparatory courses we offer before starting the medical program, if you're interested in that. And then also just a short overview about the admission procedure. All right, let's see. So that's actually a picture of the main campus, the UMFST in Romania. So for you to understand what is the UMFST? So it's basically our main campus in Romania, and the UMCH in Hamburg is a privately run branch of the UMFST. And so it's basically the concept of the UMFST was brought to Hamburg. And that means that the UMFST itself has been around actually for a very long time. It's a state-run university. It's actually the largest medical university in Romania. And yeah, it has a long experience with the English language medical study program, lots of partner universities, and as you can see, thousands of students that have been enrolled and pursued their degree there. And just a second.
Katrin, I'm sorry, do you see if I ask you to allow me to record, because it's asking me to get your allowance? So do you see that?
Actually, I don't.
All right, because it's asking for your permission as well.
All right.
No?
I can't see that anywhere.
Oh,
no.
All right. Okay, so I guess it's just, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
That's fine. No, it's not popping up anywhere. I'm just looking for it, but it's not asking me actually. So I hope it's recording.
Yeah, not yet, but all right, let's try to get it. So that's okay. I'll try to fix it. You can go on with the presentation.
Great. Okay. And so let's head to the next slide. There we are. So basically, when you study at UMCH, you would receive a Romanian degree, but you would pursue the study program here in Germany. It's not a problem at all because our study program is Bologna compliant, which means the 6-year medical program you do at UMCH will lead to university degree in human medicine. And since we are listed in Annex 5 of the EU Professional Qualification Directive, you would basically have the basis for obtaining a license to practice medicine throughout Europe and also in lots of other countries. We also follow an ECTS credit transfer system, which means that during the whole course of the 6 years, you would earn 360 ECTS credits, basically 60 ECTS credits per academic year. Now, that's what our university in Hamburg looks like. That's one picture of the campus. So you can see it's a little smaller than the one in Romania, but it has a lot to offer. So I actually would like to show you a nice video clip, which is a campus tour, so you can also see the inside. And the video will also give lots of information. I think it's about 5 minutes long, and I'm gonna start it.
So where is the UMCH campus located? In short, in Hamburg. And Hamburg is a great city. With more than 1.8 million inhabitants, Hamburg is the second largest city in Germany. There are many green spaces, proximity to the water, even a private beach, and many architectural highlights. The North German metropolis has a wide range of leisure activities and a cosmopolitan and a diverse student scene to offer. But that's not all. Hamburg has 25 colleges and universities, making the city an internationally recognized research and university location, especially in the science and medicine. Hamburg is also a media startup center and has a vibrant culture scene. The UMCH campus is located in the Hamburg district of Bahrenfeld. With its many parks, Bahrenfeld is one of the greenest districts of Hamburg, and it has excellent connections to the city center. With your UMCH semester ticket, you can use your public transport in large parts of the city for free. Furthermore, the campus is located in the middle of an urban development project, the so-called Science City Bahrenfeld, in which the University of Hamburg and many other scientific institutions are involved. Science City is a huge planned university and science area that will be built around the UMCH campus in the next few years, including apartments and much more. The UMCH campus itself impresses with approximately 4,500 square meters of teaching and study space, barrier-free lecture, seminar, and administration rooms, as well as laboratories of various types. This also includes a modern campus infrastructure and multimedia high-tech equipment for all types of rooms. We are very pleased to be able to offer our students a modern digital infrastructure. This includes, for example, our digital anatomy and dissection table. This high-tech device from the company Anatomage shows a life-size, three-dimensional representation of the human body, which can be cut at any point and, in contrast to dissections on real human bodies, viewed from all sides. Of course, our students also receive all the learning material for their studies in the digital form on the UMCH learning platform. This includes comprehensive university internal scripts. These limit the content that is required in the examinations and therefore serve as a helpful guideline. But of course, UMCH students also have access to numerous online portals, such as Clinical Key Student by Elsevier, the largest and most important online platform in the field of medical literature. In this way, you will have access to an enormous range of textbooks, journals, and many other digital learning materials. Welcome to UMCH campus. Here, you can see our entrance area. At the reception, we support you in all small and large matters of student life. I need a certificate of enrollment. Are there still free places for the next Hurry Hire workshop? How can I log into the Wi-Fi? Help, I lost my access card. Together, we will find a solution for all matters. A typical university day begins in the auditorium. This is where our lectures take place, usually in the morning. Many students follow the lectures using their laptops or iPads. There are scripts for each lecture, which are made available online. This is due to the fact that there are scripts for each lecture which are made available online on the UMCH digital learning platform. The lectures are recorded digitally so that our students can access them around the clock. When the lectures are over, the students are divided into small groups for their respective practical activities. The small group lessons take place in the different laboratories or seminar rooms. In this laboratory, for example, physiology and histology are taught. Via the screens, everyone has comfortable view of the presentation and important diagrams. The laboratory types you see here are also technically state-of-the-art and leave nothing to be desired. Among other things, biochemistry and biophysics classes take place here. In addition, you will also apply your acquired knowledge in experiments here. Of course, anatomy must not be neglected either. In this type of laboratory, we work with digital anatomy and a section table and a variety of anatomical models. This makes anatomy lessons even more varied and vivid. Here, our students can, after an introduction, deepen their knowledge in small groups apart from the classes and under the guidance of student tutors. In our IT labs, classes in medical informatics are held. These classes not only deal with the important topic of processing, managing patient data, but also with exciting questions in the area of research, such as how do I conduct scientific research and obtain evidence-based information, especially important in times of fake news. In our seminar rooms, among other things, our international students learn German, but the subject Romanian culture studies is also taught here. In this subject, which is only a small part of the curriculum, students have the opportunity to take an intercultural look beyond their own horizons. Exciting discussions and presentations from the field of ethics, history, and culture take place here. Of course, there is also a lot to be studied, as befits medical studies. In this respect, our study rooms offer a pleasant environment. Some rooms are quieter so you can concentrate on your self-study. Other rooms are often used by study groups. During the breaks, the students are drawn to our coffee corners or our activity room. Until the end of the year, the study and break rooms will generously extend by just under 1,000 square meters. So where is...
Hold on. Okay, so hopefully this was a good overview.
That was amazing. Thank you very, very much. It had a great overview of everything.
Great. And yeah, so I'll just tell you a little bit about the study concept that we have. So yeah, you saw it already in the video. We are very digitalized campus with a future-oriented study concept. And the whole program, except the bedside teaching in the hospitals, is taught in English. It's actually not required to have prior knowledge in German when you start the study program. We have partnerships with German hospitals and also with international hospitals in Spain. We have very small study groups, which means usually there are only 15 to 20 people in a study group that is working together in the laboratories. So you are very close to the professors and also to your other students. Everybody is welcome. We have a very international study environment here on the campus, and also, hoping to even increase this international environment within the next few years. Now let's have a look at the study structure. So we have 6 years in total, which means the first 2 years are the preclinical subjects. And then, the last 4 years are the clinical subjects. You will have theory lessons on the campus in Hamburg throughout all 6 years. And in the first 3 years, you will actually have a 2-week summer module every year on our main campus in Tagemuresch. There will be something like a dissection course as well as pathology. And then when the clinical subjects start in the 3rd year, you will also have a mix of theory lessons on the campus in Hamburg, as well as in one of our, or maybe also in more partner hospitals that we have throughout Germany, and as I just mentioned, also in Spain. Other than doing the practical part in the hospitals, you will also have to do some internships basically on your own. So there will be like something we call a 4-week nursing internship that you usually do in the first year. Some students actually do it before they start studying, so there are different options to do that. And then starting from the 2nd year, you will have to do a clinical internship every year, which is 4 weeks long. It's usually done in the summertime. You can do it at any hospital of your choice. And then there will also be something we call medical abilities, which are basically night shifts. They are usually 12 hours long, and you have to do 4 shifts per year. Then what are the exams like at UMCH? So basically, there are different types of tests that we have. So it can be something like a multiple choice test, but it could also be a practical examination. And we have a module-based system, which means that each subject, or basically called a module, will be tested at the end. And then obviously, you will also have to write a thesis as well as a final examination. Important to know about the final examination, it will be designed by the university and not by the state. So you will be very well prepared to do the final exam. I mentioned earlier that you will have, even when the clinical subjects start, theory lessons in Hamburg. That means that the first few weeks in the semester, you will be in Hamburg on the campus, have theory lessons, but then the last 4 or 5 weeks, maybe even more of the semester, you will basically stay at one of the partner hospitals and do the practical part there. And as you can see, depending on which year you're in, you will have all the different subjects, and you do not have to choose any specialization within the 6 years. Of course, once you've completed the 6 years, you're welcome to actually pursue your doctorate at UMCH. You can do a doctor or a PhD degree. It can be carried out here at the UMCH. If you want to apply to a German university, a state university in Germany, you can obviously also try that and do your doctorate there. That's possible as well. Now, important for you is obviously also what does UMCH offer in regards to student life. So one thing is we do have a big sports facility right next to the campus. So you would actually have physical education there, but you can also get a discounted membership. It also has a swimming pool. Other than that, we also cooperate with the Hamburg University Sports Program. That's what you can see here on the slide. It's basically a great way to connect to other students in Hamburg. The Hochschulsport Hamburg, it offers basically lots of different courses. In times of COVID, they were actually taught online, but I guess right now since we're doing very good, things are getting back to normal and the classes are held at the studios there. So that's a great option. And then regarding academic support, we have two different things. One is basically when you're maybe a little bit unsure about which direction you want to go and you are asking for some support. You can participate in the career counseling program, evaluate your goals, strategies, and things like that. But also very important, if you have any problems or it's exam period is coming around and you feel like you want to talk with a professor in a one-on-one session, you can basically have like book an appointment, and then you can ask your questions and have a one-to-one session with the professor, and hopefully get all your questions answered, and then be very well prepared, maybe, for example, to take an exam. A lot of times students ask if we have housing here on our campus. We don't have housing directly on the campus. However, we partner with several housing facilities in Hamburg. Those are just a few examples on the pictures. We have partners called Uninest, the FIS, Urban Living. Usually those student apartments are like fully furnished and very modern. They usually are in very accessible districts here in Hamburg. You can reach the campus via public transportation from there. So it's basically one way of finding a place to live here in Hamburg. Other than that, we also have a digital blackboard here where students can connect if they want to find a private apartment and then share apartment, which is usually a little bit cheaper than the student apartments. I think it was already included in the video, but in case you did not get it, you will receive something we call HVV semester ticket. It's basically a great ticket because you can use the public transportation, so buses, trains, U-Bahns or subway, here in Hamburg, and also within actually some neighboring cities for free. So it's included in your tuition fee, and it's a great way to get around. You do not need a car here in Hamburg, and you can basically really access everything via train and bus here. Now, I mentioned the tuition fees, so let's have a look at them. They are split into first and second year. We have a semester fee of 12,500 euros each, which would mean we have 2 semesters in one academic year, so it would be 25,000 euros per year. And then starting from the 3rd year through the 6th year, it is 14,000 euros per semester, or 28,000 per academic year. And then you will have a one-time application fee of 450 euros and a one-time enrollment fee of 3,500 euros. I know the question will probably come later on. Unfortunately, at the moment, we do not offer any scholarships. We're working on it, but at the moment, unfortunately, I cannot give any options here. So that's the fees and no scholarships at the moment. In case you feel like, you maybe want to prepare before you start actually the medical program, we have 2 different options. We offer 2 preparatory courses. One of the courses, it's called the college semester. It's basically a more intensive course. It is 12 weeks long. It covers not only biology, chemistry, and physics, but it also goes deeper because you will learn something about anatomy, biochemistry, and also medical theory. So it would be a great course to have like a head start for any medical program, even if you do not want to study at UMCH and maybe at another university. It's still a great choice to do the college semester and to be very well prepared to start a medical program. If you just think, maybe I want to refresh my knowledge in biology, chemistry, and physics, we offer something called the pre-medical course. It covers those 3 subjects. It's more like crash course. It runs 3 weeks, also taught in English. I didn't say that for the college semester. Both classes are completely taught in English. So this would be an option for you, just to refresh the knowledge and feel confident, more confident and comfortable with those 3 subjects. We offer several of the courses throughout the year. If you want to know the exact dates, just let us know, and then we will let you know when the next one is. Just a few words about the admission procedure, as UniBroad will assist you with that as well. I listed here what the application requirements would be if you are coming from Azerbaijan. So basically you would need your higher education certificate. It probably doesn't make much sense when I pronounce it, but you can read it here. You know better how to pronounce it than I do. You will need it completed with a minimum final score of at least 70%, and you will need the subjects biology and chemistry taken during your time in school. And also, so if you fulfill those requirements, you basically are eligible to apply. As said before, you do not need any prior knowledge in German. We also have our own admission test. It's not scary though, so no worries. It consists of 2 parts. You will have to do an interview in English. It will be like a 15 to 20-minute session with a few questions about your personal background, maybe your motivation for your medical studies, maybe if you also have previous experience in the medical field. So those could be some common questions. You can prepare for this interview just by practicing with a family member or a friend, and then you will be very well prepared. It's more about testing the English language. And then we will also have a written test. It's a written evaluation with 75 multiple choice questions, obviously also in English. You will have questions on biology, chemistry, and general knowledge. And usually if you had the subjects biology and chemistry in school, you will be able to answer the questions. Everything is based on school knowledge. And then you can easily take this admission test online via Zoom. It's not required to come here to Hamburg. So it's very accessible for everybody. And we offer several dates throughout the whole year to do this admission test. So even if you cannot participate in an official date, we can schedule individual appointment for you. But as I just said before, UniBroad will be very happy to assist you with that as well. And then, actually the final slide, why should you even study medicine at our campus here in Germany? Just a few advantages. So here in Germany, we have a very great reputation worldwide, and yeah, we have good salaries, very good salaries in the medical field. We also have a big shortage of medical staff, so we are in need of doctors, which means that your chances to find a job after completing the study program here in Germany are very high, especially since you have already gained experience in the partner hospitals, which is also a great way yeah, to do some networking, to establish yeah, some relationships. And then finally, since the study program is taught in English, you have a very unique profile, because you will, yeah, have completed a medical degree with English, but you will also have knowledge in German due to the bedside teaching in the hospitals. And so, yeah, you have a great profile with great chances to actually enter the job market, either here in Germany, but also obviously in other country if you do not want to stay here. So much from my side regarding the presentation. Now I guess would be a great time to answer the questions that you have.
Thank you very much, Katrin, for the presentation. I guess I would like to start with a lot of questions, because I was also listening to you, and before the students react, I would like to ask the very first question about the living costs in Hamburg, because, you know, some people think that Germany is a very expensive country, which is not completely true. So how would you comment on this? What is the average living cost in Hamburg?
Yeah, so it depends a little bit actually what how much you pay for rent, to be honest. So to give you an idea, I was talking about the student apartments. So they are rather on the higher side. To give you an idea, they usually run around 750 euros, 800 euros per month, which is a lot for a student. If you find privately shared housing with other students, you can maybe find a room in a nice apartment for 400 euros. So I guess if it depends on the rent, but food, for example, is not very expensive here, and public transportation is included. So I guess you can say, including rent, depending on where you live, it's going to be something maybe like 800 to 1,200 euros per month with rent, food, and everything.
All right. And as you mentioned, traveling expenses are free for UMCH students.
With the public transportation within Hamburg and some neighboring cities, yes. So you can use the bus, you can use the train, and we have a great public transportation system. So even I do not own a car, so I get around very easily here. And so, yeah, they would not need to pay for public transportation.
All right, and let's move on to working opportunities, because I guess every student is curious about if he can find a job while studying. So how many hours it is allowed to work for students, like part-time? What is an average payment for students, and this kind of questions?
So they are by law allowed to work 20 hours per week as a student, which is, I mean, which is a lot, I guess. Obviously, they have to stay up with their studies and try to see how they can fit it in. But maybe, you know, it's an option to actually work at a hospital or something, or, you know, just do something else. I mean, there's always a lot of things students do next to studying. About the payment, that's a really tough question. Usually a good thing is that if you work, if you do like a student job, you usually do not have to pay the same amount of taxes and everything like a normal person would do, which means your gross income is usually almost the same as your net income. So yeah, it's hard to say. I guess if you work at 20 hours per week with a regular job, you can probably, depending on whatever you do, something between 800 and maybe 1,000 euros per month. that's just a rough estimation. You know, that can vary depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, which completely cover the expenses that we were talking about, the rent and food and everything. So primarily a student can pay off all his expenses, monthly expenses, I mean.
Yeah.
All right. And let's talk about a secret topic, which is a block account, because many students are afraid of Germany because of this block account. They are not very sure about the reason for that. So could you please give more information about the block account?
I'm actually not too much into this topic. I know that, it is sometimes required for if you come from certain countries. I know that we've had this topic before with students that have applied here. I don't think it has been a problem, but this is something I cannot really give much advice on, to be honest.
All right. And what about the application process? How much time does the university need to provide a decision?
Usually not very long. I mean, it always depends on what time of the year students apply. So for example, if someone applies right now for next fall, so fall 2022, which I know it's a long time until then, but applications are open already. And I give you an example. So if someone completes the online profile, uploads all required documents, and then our document team usually checks the documents, let's say within 48 hours. And then the person will actually receive an invitation for the next admission test. And as I said, we usually offer the tests several times throughout the month, actually. So, well, right now, maybe it was not a good example because my colleague who's always responsible for the tests will be on vacation next week. But if she wouldn't be, there would be next Thursday, there would be an admission test, which means so online application is completed, the person gets invited to the admission session, and then after the admission session, also usually within 48 hours, the person will get the result. And then if he or she has passed the test, he or she will immediately receive a study place offer from us. And then the person has usually 10 to 14 days to decide whether to say, yes, I want to take on the study place, or I decline due to whatever reasons. So it's usually a very fast process. It can take, I guess, somewhere from 1 to 4 weeks, maybe. Usually it should not take longer than that. And then maybe one more thing important. I guess there would be a few steps ahead, but let's say, okay, the person decides to take on the study place and gets enrolled and everything. Later on, they will be required to hand in all the documents they have submitted online as hard copies in a certain paper form documents, but with an apostille or maybe even translated. It always depends on the originals. And for that, they will need some time to prepare that. But, you know, that's why I'm saying, if you apply right now, there's not a problem. If you apply sometime later on in the summer, just keep in mind that there will be a time to prepare, where the students have to prepare all the paper form documents.
Yeah, sure. And just wanted to mention for those watching that UMCH does not require any IELTS, and they do not require any GPA. So even if your marks are not as good as you would like them to be, UMCH still gives you a chance, because as far as I understand, and as Catherine can confirm, UMCH is for motivation, right?
Yes, we are. It's not exactly the GPA is. We still have requirements. So in the secondary school certificate, they need at least 70%. not so familiar with your school grading system. So you would have to calculate that. So
yeah, like 70% is something like 2.8 out of 4 and like 70% out of 100. So I guess in CIS countries, they're primarily of 100, so people can understand, and no language requirement, right? But it should be something like
language requirement is, it's not required. Of course, you should feel comfortable in English, but we are not asking for a language certificate. We only do the interview in English and as sort of as an assessment, but that's all.
All right, and let me see, there's a question where you can see the list. Well, there's one person asking about the university, so we can send you the link to the yeah, we can send you the link to the university later on to your direct message. If somebody else has a question, yeah, we would be very happy to answer. If somebody else has a question and not so far, I would like to ask one more question. I was listening to your presentation very attentively, and you mentioned your cooperation with the German and Spanish hospitals. Excuse me, could you please, yeah, could you please mute your microphone? If there's somebody here. All right, so I guess he or she does not hear me, but that's okay. So yeah, you mentioned your partnership with German and Spanish hospitals, and what advantages can this give to the students?
Yeah, so the advantages would obviously be, as I said, so when you know, if maybe the goal is to pursue a career here in Germany, and you are working, or you're not working, but you do the practical part in one of the partner hospitals, and you know, you can get a connection sort of to the staff there, to the doctors, and you know, they will see how you are doing as a student, and then, you know, maybe it would be your choice later on to apply for a job there once you've completed your degree. So I guess it's mostly, one thing is establishing a network, and then also obviously you will later on, when you apply for a job, in your CV you can put your work experience or your practical experience that you have gained in the partner hospital there. And we work with very good clinics and hospitals, so they have great reputations. So it is a good step towards you know, working here. And also in Spain, you know, if someone wants to do the practical part in Spain for some reason, obviously they should probably know some Spanish. It would not be required, because the instructions received there will be in English. But I guess it's the same as you feel in Germany. It's, you know, if you talk to a patient, you would just want to feel comfortable.
Yeah,
so we would probably say, let's learn some Spanish. But there it would be the same. You have sort of like a reference in your CV, and you can make connections to important people.
And you also have practices organized in hospitals, right? So students are practicing firsthand.
Yeah, so yeah, it's basically so that the practical part will be in a clinic or in a hospital, and they will be there directly with patients, and on the bed with the patient, and receive the instructions there. So it's, yeah, basically real stuff they're doing.
Yeah, and after studying at your university, students are allowed to work as doctor assistants, right?
Exactly. So usually the first step is to start working as an assistant doctor. And then while you are doing that, you are basically pursuing a specialization. So you can maybe become a surgeon, or you know, oncologist, whatever field you're interested in, psychiatrist maybe. And so you are working as an assistant doctor, and at the same time you are pursuing your specialization. It usually takes about, I think, 4 or 5 years. But since you are working as an assistant doctor, you're already earning money. And then after you have finished the specialization, your salary will definitely increase as well, because you're a specialized doctor in a certain field then.
Mm-hmm. And you have only one intake a year, right? It's
Yeah,
fall
exactly. Exactly, in the fall.
Mm-hmm. All right. If anybody has some more questions, because I killed all the questions that can possibly arise in any student's mind. So yeah, and what about a visa refusal? So in case the student gets visa rejection, the tuition fee is refundable, right?
Unfortunately, it's not, because yeah, this is a very tricky topic, and this question comes a lot, and I can totally understand it. But the problem is we have limited amount of study places, and we calculate the person in, and so the risk of the visa is in the hand of the applicant. And we have, we assist obviously as good as we can in writing a letter of immatriculation or something like that, whatever they need for the embassy. But if the visa gets rejected, and we cannot refund the money. The only thing sometimes that maybe can happen, maybe because they got a late appointment at the embassy or something, if the visa is issued a little bit late and the semester has already started. So like for now, the semester starts on the 27th of September, and let's say the person gets the visa by the end of October, and the person can start online, and then once he or she has received the visa, they can come here on the campus. So that's an option to start out online if the visa is coming maybe 4 or 6 weeks later.
But from my own experience, Germany has never had any, problems issuing study visas, because if everything is in order with a student, Germany is one of the safest countries to get education in. So they never prevent students from traveling for study purposes. And
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and what about the installments? Should a student pay per semester or per year?
So usually the first payment would be the first year, academic year in advance. Afterwards, so starting from the second year, it's usually paid per semester, so not the whole year in advance.
All right. And what is the deadline for applying, like early deadline? Because as you mentioned, you have very limited places.
Yeah, we do have very limited places. To give you an example, because it varies year to year, it depends on when the places are filled. This year, we started to work with a waiting list, I think the third week or the last week of May. So by that time, we have officially filled the places. There were a few persons then from the waiting list later on that got a place. But just to keep that in mind, as the earlier you apply, the better. So usually we receive most applications somewhere February, March, April. And then, so that should be a good time to apply. Or right now, if you're sure, why not? But yeah, don't wait too long, because there's not going to be any place more in July. That's very unlikely.
And at the same time, the student will not catch up, sending all the hard copies of the documents. So physically, he will be running out of time.
Exactly.
So
because there is a deadline, the end of July, where they have to hand in all the hard copies. And so even if there would still be a place left in August, we could not enroll this person anymore because of the deadline with the hard copies. And this deadline, it's always set by the Ministry of Education in Romania, and they're very strict. So we can not do anything about it.
All right. So if nobody else has any questions, I guess, Catherine, thank you very much for 1 hour presentation. We had a lot of viewers, and I guess people need some time to digest all this information, because a lot of people dream of studying medicine in Germany. but it's a little bit scary because people lack information. So we are recording this presentation and we will publish it on all our social networks. If you have any questions, you can direct these questions to us and we will communicate with a partner to answer all your questions. Thank you very, very much for your time, Katrin. If somebody needs, we can also send the presentation as Katrin can share it, right? Could you please share the presentation?
I can share the presentation, but I have a brochure that
would be great.
Share.
Yeah, so we can share the brochures and leaflets. So for your more information, and still we are at your disposal 24/7. Thank you very much, Katrin. It was a pleasure seeing you again and presenting UMCH to our followers.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and thank you all the interested applicants for your time. And yeah, hopefully I can welcome one of you or some of you soon at our campus.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna apply for the Arizona State University in USA, and I should know about the how can I apply to this university, as well as submitting any kind of documents for studying that university. Let me introduce about myself.